This is it. 2026 is upon us, and with it, a fresh start to get after the goals that you've always wanted to accomplish. That means it's a great time to get on the path to finally accomplish your fat loss, muscle growth, and health goals. In this video, while showing you footage of my latest gym workout, I'm going to share with you the 4 things that you absolutely need to guarantee that 2026 be the year that you do just that. Become lean, strong, and healthy, and keep your results for good. I've been coaching people for the past 7.5 years and can tell you that every single last person who's seen long-term success has these 4 things, no exceptions. I'll speak for myself and say that I've needed all 4 of them too when it's come to accomplishing my own physique goals, including staying on the path of my competitive natural bodybuilding journey over the years. So if you want to guarantee that you successfully accomplish your muscle growth, fat loss, and health goals this year, then this is it. This is the way there. Before we get started, if you find that this video is helpful or you enjoy it, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. Okay, let's dive in. The first thing you need is a specific and feasible plan. Seems obvious, right? But it's commonly overlooked. And you know what they say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So what should your plan include? Well, the basics. If you want to lose a certain amount of weight or drop your body fat by a certain percentage, I would start by mapping that out. Now, you'll notice that I said specific and feasible. Specific means having a certain amount of weight or fat loss in mind and within a certain timeline, for example. The number doesn't need to be exact, like exactly 20 pounds of fat loss in 4 months. It could be within a window, like 15 to 20 pounds in 4 to 6 months. From my experience, having a specific window to aim towards is a bit more realistic than an ultra-specific number. And notice I mentioned specific and feasible plan. Feasible means you set your aim to something that you can reasonably expect to accomplish. Losing 15 to 20 pounds over 4 to 6 months will be feasible for many people who have a sustainable dietary and exercise approach. But something like losing 70 pounds over 2 or 3 months would probably not be. This is a super important point. If your plan is feasible, you'll be setting yourself up for success. If it isn't, you'll be setting yourself up for failure, which might lead to a heck of a lot of discouragement and disappointment. A feasible plan also means that your approach is sustainable, as in you have a diet and training plan that you can sustain within your lifestyle. Planning to crash diet on insanely low calories, cut out sugar altogether, or do 7 days a week of cardio are examples of non-sustainable approaches, at least for most people. Okay, so to summarize, a specific and feasible plan means to have a specific and realistic goals planned within a realistic timeline and through a means that's sustainable. If you want to accomplish a successful long-term transformation, you're going to need that. The second thing you'll need for a successful transformation is the right mindset. I'm telling you, this might be the most important thing of all. I'll try to break down what I've found to be 3 of the most helpful concepts and principles to consider revolving your mindset around. The first is understanding that commitment infinitely outweighs motivation. From my experience, many people's downfall stems from their lack of motivation. The ironic part about that is that motivation isn't actually needed or necessary for a successful transformation. Commitment is. It's your level of commitment that will keep you consistent even when you're not feeling motivated. And that's one of the reasons it's so important. Motivation is fleeting. It's reasonable to expect that you won't feel motivated a lot of the time to follow through with things like your planned workouts or your nutrition approach. So you need commitment for the many times and occasions where motivation is nowhere in sight. The second helpful concept to revolve your mindset around is something I actually mentioned earlier. It's adopting realistic expectations. Using the same example, aiming to lose 15 to 20 pounds over 4 to 6 months will be realistic for many people versus a much more likely unrealistic expectation of losing 70 pounds over something like 2 to 3 months. Now, the third concept to consider revolving your mindset around is being prepared to practice patience. With so much of our culture revolving around getting things instantly, accomplishing fat loss and muscle growth goals can be particularly difficult. Why? Because when taking a natural, healthy approach, no matter how you spin it, no matter how optimal you are, it's going to take time. And it's going to take consistently showing up over that time. Accepting and embracing that and being patient will set you up for success. Now, there's more to adopting the right mindset, but for the sake of this video, I'll mention those 3 big points to start, or those 3 concepts to consider revolving your mindset around. Putting commitment on a pedestal above motivation, adopting realistic expectations, and embracing patience in a world of instant gratification. The next 2 things you'll need for a successful transformation are your direct tactics. Having a progressive, planned strength training routine, and having a sustainable nutrition approach. Starting with the former, having a planned strength training routine is essential because, simply put, it gives you direction when you go into the gym. If you didn't have that, it might mean trying to figure out something new each time you walk into the gym or diverting to just doing cardio. Just winging it massively decreases your probability of both staying consistent and actually seeing the results that you're hoping for. So you're definitely going to want to have a routine or program properly planned ahead of time. And by ensuring the routine is progressive in nature, it means that you'll be setting yourself up to actually build muscle. When I say progressive, I mean having some kind of planned system that directs you to do things like increase the number of reps or the amount of load you use between exercise sessions for different exercises. You'll need some kind of progression scheme to actually stimulate the body to add more muscle. A bit of a side note, but in addition to having a planned progressive routine, it also is highly recommended that you think about how you perform your reps and sets within each of your exercise sessions, and that you aim to learn good technique and make an attempt at becoming more efficient at the skill of lifting, as lifting weights is a skill, just like playing a musical instrument. That way, you'll be making the most out of your time doing your strength training. So when it comes to accomplishing a successful transformation, a progressive strength training routine with an intentional approach to each of your sessions is essential. And lastly, having a sustainable nutrition approach is absolutely a must-have when it comes to accomplishing a successful transformation. What does that mean, having a sustainable nutrition approach? Well, for starters, it means having a set of clear calorie and protein targets to hit daily. You'll need that to ensure that if you're trying to lose fat, for example, that you'll actually stay within a deficit to meet that end. Without that, you'll be completely shooting blind. From there, I would strongly recommend making some kind of meal plan that revolves around those calorie and protein targets. This is opposed to what I call the track and go approach, where, like the name alludes to, with each new meal you eat, you try to calculate and fit in your calories into your daily plan as you go. From my experience, although that can work, it takes a ton of mental energy, it can add a lot of daily stress, and it can leave you with a large margin of potential error. Having a meal plan simply means planning your meals in advance to make sure you hit your calorie and protein targets. It's a means of guaranteeing that you stay in a deficit, for example, if you're trying to lose fat. And the beauty of it is, if you design it yourself or have someone experienced helping you with it, as long as it fits within your targets, you can include foods that you enjoy. That means you don't have to pick some kind of extreme approach like the keto diet, vegan diet, carnivore diet, low-fat diet, low-carb diet, so on and so forth. You can make it suit your overall preferences. Of course, including tons of unprocessed whole foods is recommended since those contain the most satiating, nutrient-dense foods and make dieting ultimately easier. But even with that, it leaves you with tons of flexibility to make your meals taste good and so that you actually enjoy them. Having a sustainable nutrition approach also means that the targets themselves that you aim to hit are sustainable. A super extreme deficit, for example, would probably not be a great idea. The whole point is that you adopt a diet that you can actually stick with. As mentioned earlier, accomplishing fat loss and muscle growth takes time. As such, you'll want to be eating in a way that you can sustain for that amount of time. And better yet, in a way that you can sustain even after you've accomplished your goals. Why? Because that's how you keep your progress. And there you have it. The 4 things that you need to guarantee that you successfully accomplish your physique goals this year are: 1, having a specific and feasible plan. 2, having the right mindset. 3, having a progressive strength training routine. And 4, having a sustainable nutrition approach. If you've got those 4 things, chances are you'll be darn near unstoppable in your journey to accomplishing your physique goals in 2026. Before this video comes to a close, I wanted to quickly let you know about the work that I do. When I'm not making YouTube videos, recording podcast episodes, or making Instagram content, I work full-time as an online physique coach, where I help my clients to accomplish their muscle growth and fat loss goals by optimizing their approach to strength training and nutrition, and I coach them through the process. I've been doing this work for 7.5 years and love helping my clients not only transform their bodies, but ultimately their lives. If you've been considering getting some help with accomplishing your own physique goals, feel free to hit the link in the description below, where you can learn a little bit more about the work that I do and how it can help you. You can even use that link to schedule a free video consultation. If you have any questions about my coaching or how I can help you, just email me at sam@jadeathletics.ca. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.